Video we studied about root system. In this video we will be studying about shoot system. So let's get started. Now the shoot system includes the stem, leaf, flower, fruit, etc. That is your birds and all. Now let us study about them one by one. In this video we will be studying about stem. Now stem is a part of the plant that is seen above the ground. Okay, so that part of the plant which is seen above the ground, or we can use the term that part of the plant which grows vertically upwards, means ग्राउंड लेवल से ऊपर की तरफ ग्रो करेगा. नाउ स्टेम बियर्स ब्रांचेस, लीव्स, बड्स, फ्लावर्स, fruits and seeds. The fruits contain seeds. So look over here. Now what is the function of the stem? It exposes the leaves, flowers and branches to sunlight, plus it also supports the plants when the branches become too heavy. Now it exposes the leaves, flowers and branches. Now if we talk about leaves, leaves perform the function of photosynthesis. So stem help the leaves to perform that function. Now let us understand what is node, what is internode and what is apical bud. Now the parts of the stem where the branches and leaves arise are called nodes. Now this is a part of the stem, this is the part of the stem, and this is the node, and here this is the node, that is that part from where the branches and the leaves arise is known as node. Now internode, another term internode, which is frequently asked, the part between two nodes. Now this part between two nodes is known as internode. And now moving on to apical bud. The tip of the stem has a bud called as apical bud. Now what is the function of the apical bud? It is responsible for the growth of the plant. Now the tip of the stem, you can see here the tip of the stem, it contains apical bud which is responsible for the growth of the whole plant. Now let us move on to modification of stem. As in my last video we studied about modification of stem like food storing, prop roots, breathing roots. Similarly the stem of the plants are also modified to perform special functions. So let us look into the function of the stem that undergo modifications. Now first one is storage of food. As the roots were storing food, similarly the stems are also storing food. Now vegetables like potatoes, onions and ginger, basically they are underground stem and they store food. So for storing food, underground stems get modified into three main types, that is tuber, bulb and rhizome. Okay, so for storing food the underground stems modify into three main types. It can be tuber. You can see the example of potato, it is a tuber. Fine. Bulb, onion is a bulb. And rhizome, we talk about ginger, it is an example of rhizome. Now let us study about vegetative propagation or reproduction. Now stems bear buds that can give rise to new shoots. Fine. So stem bear buds that can give rise to new shoot. Now underground stems like tubers, bulbs and rhizomes. We have seen the example like potato, onion and ginger. Examples of tuber, bulb and rhizome. They can give rise to new plant. So some plants creep on the ground or on water. They have horizontal stem that strike roots at the nodes and new shoots grow from these nodes. These then separate from the mother plant and grow independently. In the examples you can see this vegetative propagation in pistia. Now let us move on to the third one, protection. Now some plants like bougainvillea and rose, you might have seen thorns, can't? Fine. So some thorns grow onto their stem, which are again modified. You can say modified stem or branch of that plant. It basically protect the plant from predators. Fourth one, let us move on to support. Now plants like grapevine or bitter gourd have weak stem. Fine. So they are having weak stem and that is why they cannot stand on their own. I am repeating, plants like grapevine and bitter gourd have weak stem and that is why they cannot stand onto their own. So such stems depend on walls or other strong plants or trees for support to grow erect or simply spread on the ground. So weak stem plants are further grouped into creepers and climbers. So let us see creepers and climbers. Now creepers. Now you know creepers and climbers, they both are having weak stem. Fine. Now we know creepers creep horizontally along the ground. Some have roots growing at regular intervals near the nodes. Others simply spread on the soil without growing roots. So now the examples like plants like pumpkin and watermelon do not strike roots whereas grasses do. Moving on to climbers. Climbers are also plants with weak stems that take the support of the wall or stick or any other plant by means of some special structures. Fine, it can be special root, sticky stem or twins or tendrils. Fine. Now what do the twins do? They twin around the objects in a spiral manner. Some produce hooks for climbing. So now moving on to the examples of climbers are pepper, vanilla plant and money plant. Now thank you.